I think we all dreamt about going to space when we were kids. But when the Space Shuttle program ended in 2011, I discovered a void in my life. That emptiness led to a newfound obsession with space. A few years later, I wound up bidding on Russian space. When the box arrived at my doorstep, my friends asked, "What are you going to do with a spacesuit?" The answer? What can't I do with a spacesuit? That's how Everyday Astronaut was born. Since then, the suit has left my side. It's even gone around the world with me. From remote villages in Myanmar, rockets, and spaceships. To beautiful fields in Norway. I hate a cow to get a picture right now.
Here I am on vacation in beautiful Norway with my beautiful boyfriend.
I even proposed to my wife in the suit at Machu Picchu, Peru. These days I work with leaders in the space industry to create fun and inspirational content. I've been invited to different NASA facilities across the country, all for the sake of sharing my exciting world.
Hey there, it's me, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, but NASA is doing some incredible things. This is church for us space nerds. This is where Gene Kranz was sitting when people first met him. This is with permission. I still don't know how. I love that I'm standing on something that says urine bags. This thing's gonna fly like a cat. Whatever that means. That dog's gonna have a sore throat by the end of the day. I'll tell you that. Especially once he tried to explain to his friends that he just saw an astronaut flying majestically through the sky for an hour. This thing has officially become the bane of my existence.
Every astronaut's mission is to bring space down to Earth for everyday people. Communicate science through humor and imagination, but most importantly, to spark your curiosity, to want to find your place in the cosmos. Join my adventures as I seek to find out why exploring space is important, inspiring, and quite frankly, really, really neat. Your support by patreon.com/AS.
Hi everybody, it's me, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, and I'm going to be attempting to stream 3 miles away from Falcon Heavy using what appears to be a potato. So hopefully the internet underworld provides us with a little bit of bandwidth, but there's a really, really, really good chance you will be seeing virtually none of this. But just in case that's not the case, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a rundown on what's going on today. So, there's this rocket called the Falcon Heavy. And to be honest, it's fantastic. And it's also sitting right over my shoulder there, about 3.17 miles away from right here. And this vehicle will, when it flies, the second it leaves the launch pad, will be the most powerful vehicle flying since the Space Shuttle. The Space Shuttle, granted, it had more power, but this has more capability. This can actually put more things into orbit, and it's reusable. So this is very, very, very exciting. So this is called the Falcon Heavy, in case you couldn't read. And also, one of the cool things about it, it has 27 Merlin engines producing 5.1 million pounds of thrust, and this is its very first time flying. And it's a really exciting first flight. Normally a demo mission like this, they wouldn't do anything but stick some steel up inside the vehicle and say, here you go, have at it. But today they're trying something, what I think is really cool. They're sticking Elon Musk's personal old Tesla Roadster inside the payload fairing. And not only that, they're gonna try hucking this baby off to Mars. So here's what we're gonna do. I know that I probably don't have any video, but I'm still going to answer your guys' questions. And I do apologize that we are at 0.010 point to the negative 30 frames per second. I'm dealing with literally hundreds and hundreds of people out here, thousands even, that are trying to use the internet all at the same time. And even though this is NASA, the internet's still potato. So, all right, let's go ahead and I'll answer some questions. This might as well be an audio-only webcast. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I wonder if I cut the video, I wondered if we'd have better audio. So, all right, we're going to at least give you guys some, I will at least read your questions. So, gotta love a bit of Microsoft PowerPoint, says Robert Bridge. This is worse than PowerPoint. This is like Kid Pics, I think. I think we're doing a live stream via Kid Pics 1992. Whew, it is fantastic. So 5 frames per minute. No, I feel like it's more like 1 frame per 5 minutes. Oh, Dan, thank you so much, Dan Langford, with a tip, even though you are looking again at potatoes. Thank you so much for the tip. Let me know if you have any specific questions. I do want to answer one thing that we learned. So we've learned a few things about this profile, this mission, that are kind of unique to Falcon Heavy. So first off, we have learned that they are actually they're going to be doing a direct injection to geostationary orbit. You're like, Tim, what is that? Let me tell you what that is. So normally, most launch vehicles, when they send something out to geostationary orbit, which is like 22,000 or something-ish miles in altitude, so very far away, those are the satellites that end up looking like a fixed point in the sky, the satellites that provide communication. So when you have like a satellite dish and you just aim it at one thing, those are geostationary. Those are geostationary satellites. So normally when a rocket sends something up to those places, all it does is it gets it to the highest point, but then the orbit ends up being elliptical like this. So this lowest point is still pretty much only a couple hundred miles or a couple hundred kilometers above the surface of the Earth. And then the highest point, its apogee, goes all the way out to that geostationary point. Now, what they're going to be doing today, testing for the Air Force, it sounds like, they will be doing a 6-hour coast. So they'll do that initial insertion burn, the geostationary transfer orbit. And then after that, once that happens, at apogee at the highest point, they will then be doing the geostationary insertion burn. So making sure that they can relight that Merlin engine, the Merlin vacuum engine, after a 6-hour coast period. So hopefully, if we have any luck, it's a small chance we'll see a really cool for Tesla with the spacesuit inside. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this thing is animatronic and going to be waving and maybe, I don't know, maybe doing some sign language for us and maybe singing some karaoke in the vacuum of space. I have no idea, but regardless, I think it should be fantastic. I'm seeing some freeze frames, and I want to start doing really ridiculous things so that hopefully when it freezes, you just get these insane poses, and that's what I'm hoping to at least achieve right now. And just so you guys know, we were experiencing some delays as they were working on, it's called upper level wind. So down here, it's fairly windy. We're probably 10, 20 miles an hour, probably 10-ish, I don't know. I'm not a wind guy. Don't talk to me about wind. But even though it's 10 mile an hour down here, the winds up in very high altitudes, like in the stratosphere, can be very, very, very strong. And not necessarily very strong, but they can change really quickly. So as the vehicle's traveling at 1,000 miles an hour, 1,600 kilometers an hour, those sheer wind forces, and as you hit one direction of wind and then another really quickly, those can literally block it in half. And especially the Falcon 9 is extra susceptible? Is that a word? Yeah, extra susceptible to this. The Falcon 9 is literally the finest rocket by definition currently launching, which means it's so skinny and long. It's actually at the maximum ratio, really, of length to girth. So yeah, this baby is a very fine rocket, which again means it can't really handle these upper level winds as well as some other launch vehicles. But we've had the clear. It looks like they are Elon hit that button. He goes, we're doing this thing. So we're hoping that we're gonna actually have something. So the wind shear is causing video lag. I don't think it's wind shear. I think it's just, again, the cabbage out here. We're in a cabbage Wi-Fi zone for adults. So I hope that my poses continue to be even everybody. Like I said, if you're just now tuning in, you're pretty much going to be listening to audio with occasional video stills. And that's all we got for you today. But I will be answering some questions. So let's see what you guys have. 480p, I would love to give you guys 480p. I would love to give you 4K right now. At this point, I think you're going to be getting at most like 4x4 pixels, maybe 4x6 pixels, so it's at least in the right aspect ratio, 16x9 pixels. That's probably the most you're going to be getting today, unfortunately, so 9p. We will see. So yeah, there is a lot of lag, and I apologize for that. Again, I can't fix my stream. I am on a network with literally hundreds and hundreds of people trying to use it at the same time. So unless you can talk all the other media personnel out here into turning off their Wi-Fi so we can have a cleaner stream, unless we can get that to happen, this is what we're left with. So hopefully the audio is good enough for you guys. Is that a 360-degree camera? Yes, will be recording in 8K 360 degrees today. That should be a good video. I hope that makes it worth it for you guys. I will be posting that as soon as humanly possible. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I have a lot of cameras out here, guys. We're gonna be doing some, oh, I forgot to set that one up. Great. Ryan, maybe I could talk you into setting up that Sony at some point for video, if you don't mind. That'd be awesome. Ryan Bale over there, great photographer. Just recently turned 18, so he is able to be out here. Had it gone off when it was intended to go off last year at some point, he would not be available, so excellent. So, okay, change your live stream settings. They're at the minimum. I'm telling you guys, you're all like, fix your internet. I can't. I have it down to 100 megs. I normally stream at 3,500 megs. I'm at 100 megs trying to produce something of some semblance of a video. And you're getting the best I've got. You're getting some postcards with excellent audio of me occasionally dancing in front of Falcon Heavy. So there you go. Put the video in. The hotspots don't work out here, guys. Again, just so we'll reiterate this as many times as it takes to sink in. We're dealing with what we've got. The networks are absolutely jammed. Just imagine you're like at the Super Bowl and you're trying to use your phone. Not gonna work. And that's pretty much what we're dealing with out here. We just have crowded networks. There are hundreds and thousands of people using up all the data. So we're trying. I'm not uploading it 1080, am I? We can try bumping it down here again. I am recording this. This is correct. This is being recorded. So maybe I'll attempt to give you guys something later. We can re-upload it later. So, all right, video. Why don't we? Wow. Yeah. How about this? How about I try just resetting it? We'll do a fresh start here. I'll be back in a few minutes. We'll see if we can at least get it up to like 360p. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Because this occasionally says I have some data, but who knows? We're giving it all we got. Why don't we answer some questions anyway? So McDonald's has figured out Wi-Fi better than NASA. Well, if McDonald's had 3,600 people sitting inside their restaurant, I would love to see how that happened. So, change the video. Where's the spacesuit? The spacesuit is actually over there, but it being 76 degrees and the sun beating down on my face, not gonna happen. I don't even do it inside, so not gonna happen. We need Elon to launch his satellite network. That is true. If we had SpaceX is working on a global satellite constellation that will be able to provide gigabit internet to everyone anywhere around the world. And we're hopefully gonna start seeing some tests of that maybe this year. And then soon after they'll be sending out thousands of satellites to be able to do global coverage. If we're living in the future, we'll be laughing at this because we're like, oh, remember when we didn't have gigabit internet literally everywhere around the world? So yeah. Where are the post stamps? I don't get that one. Lower resolution, 364. Okay, let's go ahead at 4,500 mile an hour. Wow, 360 is fine. So there you go. Yeah, guys, just change your settings. Stop trying to do 1080. Go down to 360p, the minimum setting, and you may get slightly more than 1 frame per hour. We'll see though. Do I think Falcon Heavy will launch today? Yes, they have hit the button. So they are go for their auto sequence. They've even started prop loading. So soon here, we might actually start seeing liquid oxygen loading. Once liquid oxygen loads, that's when you start seeing those plumes of, it's actually condensed air, or what is it? It's actually water molecules that are being, basically, they're coming in contact with that really, really, really cold oxygen as it vents off, as it goes from a liquid state into a gas state. It's still very cold, comes in contact with the water in the air, and it condenses and turns it into water vapor that you can see in visible clouds. So when we start seeing that, that's going to be a very good sign. We'll see that around T-minus 50 minutes or 45 minutes. When that happens, we should all get ready. So what do I think the odds of success will be? That's a very good question. I'm personally, this is me, I think we're going to see if it ignites and the launch clamps let go. I think we're about 90% chance of seeing it go through to booster separation. I think, as long as it can, everything happens there, and I think there's about a 90% chance of it getting to that point. And then getting to booster separation. Booster separation is probably going to be the biggest unknown today. Max Q is a scary point. That's the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure. That's when the vehicle has the most stresses aerodynamically as it comes down on the nose cone and on those 2 booster nose cones. So even though the vehicle is going up in altitude, which means the air gets thinner and thinner, it's also speeding up. So because of that, there's a point where those 2 points cross, where the air is getting thinner, but the rocket's also going faster. And then after that, it actually thins out, and even though the rocket's going faster, it's getting more and more into the vacuum of space. So the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure is when the air is pushing, basically there's a lot of friction, there's a lot of forces pushing against the vehicle at the nose cone. So yeah, we will see here. Sorry, I'm getting some stuff here from my Discord channel. So do you guys think I should try changing it from bumping down the actual resolution? Would that help? I know nothing about this stuff. Better frames per second, like 4 or 6 per second. That's amazing. I could almost be sending out postcards at this rate, just flipping through it. Poop again. So why don't I try again? Hey, Rob Jones, howdy. Thank you so much. Thank you for the tip. Oh, I didn't realize there's a wow. Oh, sorry guys. Holy cow. I didn't see any of these. Thank you, Daniel. Drop the frame rate. Frame rate's down to the minimum. And wow, Koshik, thank you so much. Eldon, how many weather balloons have they sent up today? I don't actually know that question, but I think it's about every 15 to 20 minutes-ish they send up a weather balloon, and that's how they measure those upper level winds. So can I turn on my phone's hotspot? That's actually much, much, much worse. I was unable to send a tweet earlier over Verizon LTE because it's so crowded right now. So at least we're getting beyond tweet ability. So thank you so much, the TRH51 living vicarious through me. Thank you. Hopefully you're living in a world of around 30 frames per second with little lag in life. I'm apparently to you guys not in that world right now, but yeah, thank you. I hope that I can at least provide something and answer a few questions. Yeah, Rob Jones, thank you so much. Jared, thank you very much. And Darth, are they recovering anything from today's launch? Yes, sir, Darth. They are going for 3 recoveries. So they will be doing the 2 side boosters, will be landing about 7 miles away right over there, LZ1, and then the center core will be landing downrange on the drone ship. And it sounds like it's actually not very far downrange because I think they have extra margins to be able to do a mild boost back burn, which will then allow it to drop almost straight down. So that's cool. It means hopefully it won't have as much time to come into port, so if I'm still here when it's in port, I'll be able to take some pictures. Suds, realistic wishful odds of getting into orbit. Is it too late to put Trump on the roadster? Yes, that's not physically possible. But Suds, thank you. Realistic odds of getting into orbit. I'm sitting at like 65, 70% chance for me. That's my personal gut instinct. Again, the biggest thing is once we get past booster separation, I'll have almost full confidence because at that point, it's basically a Falcon 9. You know, you got your center core, you got your upper stage attached to it. And most of that, you know, they've done that 49 times so far, so no problem. Stefan, thank you. Thank you so much, Stefan. That really means a lot. What do I think the odds are that we see launch today? I'm feeling good about it now. A little bit ago when we were waiting for the upper level winds to not be an issue, they were just kept pushing the clock back 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and now we're not. So I don't know. I'm hoping for something. I think we're going to see it. You know, if we start seeing oxygen load, that's going to be a very good sign. So yeah, I'd say we're like 80%. So Christopher, thank you. Love the channel. Can't wait for Falcon Heavy. I can't wait for Falcon Heavy either. Hey guys, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take a real quick break, try resetting this, try setting the resolution like way down and see if that helps de-lag it. So I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I'll pop up with a new one. We'll see how it goes. I'm also going to do a fresh intro. So get ready for that. Not a countdown, but I'm going to do like, hi, it's me, Tim. Every day, blah, blah, blah. So we have a, you know, a fresh, clean starting point. Hi, it's me, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. I'm standing 3.17 miles, or I don't know, like almost 5, pretty much exactly 5 kilometers away from Falcon Heavy. You guys might know this. I was just streaming a second ago. We're trying some new options here for the stream to see if we can get it a little bit smoother, a little less laggy. I'm dealing with potato quality networks. The networks on both LTE, hotspot are slammed, and as well as the Wi-Fi. Everything is slammed out here. I have basically just the slightest morsel of connection. So if I'm able to get you guys anything, hopefully it's much better. It looks like you guys are enjoying that. You can actually see me moving in multiple frames in a second, not just one frame every 10 seconds. Look at this. It's like real life now, huh? So there, maybe you can actually see it better back there. It is right over there. I'm shooting on the 28 equivalent millimeter lens, so it's a pretty wide angle lens, so it's actually deceivingly far away. we're actually quite close. We're gonna really feel and hear this thing almost right away. So yes, I am very, very, very stoked. And again, if you're just now joining, we will be doing some 8K 360-degree video recording. We'll be doing 4K over here. I'm gonna have to take a break at some point to just kind of set up some cameras and get them all turned on and rolling. At about T-minus 5 minutes, I'll probably turn those guys on. But guys, I think we're go for launch. We're looking good. I haven't been hearing anything out here. And wow, hey, thank you. Paul, thank you. We have way too much fun on Discord. Become a Patreon. Thank you for saying that, Paul. I had the pleasure of meeting some patrons last night in Titusville. About 20 people came out. It was awesome. It was so cool to meet you guys. I really, 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 truly appreciate the support. It's been so encouraging. It's made me go from, why am I doing this, into, wow, you guys, it actually means so much to have your guys' support. So thank you so much for that. This definitely isn't high def, unacceptable. But don't worry, and JK, thank you, Mezzo Dave. I am also recording this at least into a 1080 box. And then again, I will be having multiple shots from all around, so multiple frames per second from scratch. I think we're getting there now, right? We're actually doing something with our lives. So that's not a bad idea. All right, so let's get back to answering some questions. Thank you guys for your patience and thank you for your understanding as we get ready. We're what now? Are we T-minus 1 hour? Is that where we're sitting at, guys? We are T-minus 1 hour from Falcon Heavy, which is right behind me. Gonna take off, hopefully, and hopefully make its way into space. So this is a massively exciting launch. Let me explain real quick. I wanna do a little bit of talking about why this is important and why I'm so excited and why you should be excited. This is the most powerful rocket flying. The second it leaves the pad, it'll be the most currently powerful rocket made by over 2 times compared to the Delta IV Heavy. It has 9 times the engines of the Delta IV Heavy, which has 3 main engines. This has 27. Delivers 5.1 million pounds of thrust, which is a lot of thrust. It's the most powerful rocket to fly since the Space Shuttle, which last flew in 2011. It also, but cooler than that, it can do this way cheaper than the Space Shuttle. The Space Shuttle cost over $1 billion, $1.3 billion-ish per flight in the long run. When you factor in all the refurbishment, all the people time, they're selling these rides for $90 million. So we're down by more than a factor of 10. So this is incredible. This is a great future for space flight, not only for putting hardware up in space, but eventually, well, probably not with this particular vehicle, but in general, the overall census of getting people into space and having a working economy in space. This is really, really, really exciting. Even more exciting, this rocket, almost 90% of it will be able to land and be reusable. So the 2 side boosters of the Falcon Heavy will be turning around and landing about 7 miles from me. 6 or 7 miles right over that way. I might have to try to turn the camera so we get something of that, or we'll just get my reaction as I'm weeping in tears if it gets to that point. But the center core will be landing downrange on a drone ship. We don't know exactly how far, but we did learn it's probably not as far away as a lot of people, including me, assumed it would be. I assumed it'd be very, very, very far downrange because the center core ends up going significantly faster than a standard Falcon 9 booster can go, because it has, they throttle it down so it has extra fuel to be able to keep going longer than a normal Falcon 9 would be able to do. So that means as it goes further and further away, it's harder and harder for it to turn around and land back on land. But they have enough margins this time to do what's called a boost back burn, which means it slows itself down and it'll probably end up landing somewhere below itself instead of following that ballistic trajectory really far and landing, 1,000 kilometers downrange. It might actually only be a couple hundred kilometers off the coast here. So that's awesome. That means we might actually be able to see it come into port here in a day or two, which would be awesome. So yeah, all right, it's awesome. Christopher says it's much better. Thank you too, Alexo, and Mezzo. Thank you guys so much. Rob Jones asks, are they, multiple frames per second, I already read that. Rob Jones, are they going to be recovering the fairings? They're going to be attempting to recover fairings. We actually got, Elon tweeted today the flight profile of this whole thing, of this wonderful beast, and it did show that boost back burn in the center core, which we didn't really know about. It also showed they're going to be attempting to recover the fairings. So there's a chance that the only part of this vehicle that isn't recovered is the part that's supposed to stay in space, which is the roadster, the payload, and that upper stage, which as of now with this current technology and with the iteration of the Falcon vehicles, pretty much impossible. BFR, though, on the other hand, their upcoming rocket, the big Falcon rocket, will have the ability to, be fully reusable. So that's huge. But for now, I'd say 90% is a good way to start. But let's see here. Flying Minion, showing your support. Thank you so much. Thanks for the great feed. When will the camera feed from the car be up after launch? Literally, hopefully, we might see the first the pictures after payload fairing separation. They have cameras mounted all over that thing. They recently showed off kind of the camera rig. So I'm hoping really soon after payload separation. Actually, how cool would it be if we got a view, if all things are going well, from inside the fairing of that spacesuit sitting in the driver's seat. And you got to see it before the fairings popped off. And then as the fairings pop off, you all of a sudden, poof, you just see it in space. I don't know what to expect. I hope that they have something awesome planned. We got to get that far though first. I really hope that it ends up being I hope that ends up working. So people are asking, when will this be happening? In 55 minutes from right now. T-0 is slated for 3:50 Eastern time, which I don't know what time that is UTC. What, like, RP1, all right, so we're continuing to load up the fuel, the rocket fuel, which is RP1, which is rocket grade kerosene, basically highly refined kerosene, basically jet fuel of a higher level, so it's really expensive. But that's what they use for the rocket for fuel. Then they use liquid oxygen for its oxidizer. So you put those things together, you have a spark, and they go kaboomy, and that's what powers this beast. So Sakatan 1985, greetings from Germany. Thank you so much. Keep up the great work, making space fun. Our role in all this is very much appreciated. Well, I really appreciate you, so thank you. And hopefully we'll be seeing you soon, Germany. I hope to come out to IAC this year at Bremen, Germany. So if you're a German, come down to Bremen during the IAC in October, I think. So yes, thank you. Thomas, what's the press zone like right now? There's definitely, it's starting to pick up now that we're actually getting close to T-0. The excitement's starting to fill. People are starting to leave the press site, leave the wonderful air conditioning and step out into the scolding death sun. And it makes for... Yes, so they just announced that the center core has the fuel loading going, so it got topped off to its proper amount. So hopefully soon we'll be seeing liquid oxygen loading. So, and Philip James, thank you. It's not just that you talk about space, but also your genuine positive excitement makes a difference to people currently having chemo, and catching up on the stream really improves your mood. Jeez, thank you, Philip. Best of luck in your recovery. You really didn't have to donate to me. It sounds like you have some really important things to be working on for your health. So best of luck to you. Hopefully this brings a little smile to your face today. I'm really hoping it brings a big smile to all of our faces. Again, if it goes well or it goes poorly, you'll probably see tears on my face. So there we go. And thank you, Resist. Thank you very much. And Neil Price, my dear friend Neil Price. Hello, Dad. He says, I love my dad. Neil. And hello, Richard Price, Neil's father. Thank you for stopping in, Neil. I wish you were here with me. Romaine, Bogran, Falcon Heavy. Not go me, go SpaceX. Thank you. Thanks for keeping on. Hunter, thank you very much. And Snow White Revived. Greetings from Canada. Do I think SpaceX deserves a museum? I think SpaceX, you know, they are just a launch provider. They are a company, a private company. I would like to see their things in museums. And I know they hopefully will be donating the SES-10 core that launched last March, like March 30th or 31st of last year. That was the first time they reused a core. They had mentioned they will be donating that to the Cape. So hopefully we'll see that maybe at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center, in a museum. Hopefully the Smithsonian starts picking up on some of these cores. They have tons, and when I say core, that's like the booster portion, like the whole vehicle. Hopefully they'll be donating some of those leftover cores that are of the current iteration, the Block 3 iteration. So we'll see. All right. Anywhere we can listen to those callouts ourselves. Is there a place to actually listen into callouts online? Do you guys know? Unfortunately, we have a press undisclosed phone number, so I can't unveil that, unfortunately, but I'll be telling you guys what we're hearing over the countdown radio, the internal radio here, so tune in. I'm glad you guys are here. You're in the right place for the inside information. Thank you so much. Look good. I'm doing 20 to 30 frames per second. That's wow. That's amazing. I'm not even mad. I'm mad that I'm in like 10p right now, but yeah. And thank you so much to sub warp speed. That really means a lot. Oh, sorry, I almost missed this. Bert Jacobs, what's the status of the tourist moon mission? Is BFR not eating away too much of Falcon Heavy potential? Greetings from Belgium. Bert, you're almost exactly right. They actually announced yesterday that Falcon Heavy, they have no plans to actually fly those tourists around the moon on Falcon Heavy, and that they have no plans to actually make it crew rated, which means they will probably never fly people on Falcon Heavy, which is interesting because, yeah, a lot of things kind of cropped up yesterday like that were a surprise, but that means they are seeing BFR as coming online on schedule, which, I mean, fingers crossed, we'll see. I don't know if I totally believe that that's a very ambitious goal. It's a very ambitious vehicle, the BFR is. And for those who don't know, the BFR is the big Falcon rocket. It's composed of the BFB, the big Falcon booster, and the BFS, the big Falcon ship, and both of those portions of the vehicle are fully reusable. And so that means that hopefully the cost per kilogram can come down another factor of 10, maybe another factor of 100. It will be basically like flying an airplane with a little bit more expensive fuel. And probably more refurbishment costs overall, maintenance costs compared to an airplane, but a lot closer to a jetliner. So you were right to speculate on that, Bert. To the Rocket Man, thank you, Michael. And let's see, sorry, where are we? And thank you, Emiliano, thank you very much. What did you say, locks close? Locks load has begun. So we may actually see venting of the Falcon Heavy breathing into life and getting ready for its maiden flight. This is awesome. So thank you very much, Marco. That means a lot. Thank you so much. That's very generous. And Bobby, you're welcome for streaming. I apologize that the quality's low, but I'm trying to give you guys the best that I've got. I hope it's working out okay. Does the Tesla have any additional avionics to provide telemetry on its trip to Mars? That's a great question. I don't actually know anything about the extra telemetry or radio or battery capacity of the Tesla itself. My personal guess is that it will stay attached to the upper, this is pure speculation on my end. I'm guessing it'll stay attached to the upper stage. And in doing so, as it's staying attached to the upper stage, it'll probably only have the battery and avionics of the upper stage. So once those batteries die out, I'm guessing the vehicle will just end up being a floating, cool space car, but for future aliens and or humans to go out and pick up. So Carl, thank you. We already read that one. Mark from Catalonia, thank you so much. That's awesome. Hello, Catalonians. Paul, wow, thank you, Paul. That's awesome. Yeah, we do. Wow, we have almost 13,000 people tuned in right now. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. Jeez. Thank you. You are making my day even better than it is because we have the coolest thing to happen in spaceflight history in the past 7 years. So. A new sponsor, D Rose, thank you so much. And Shift Fred, you're welcome. I'm trying to make, wow, guys, I can't even keep up with you guys. Let's see, what happened, sorry. Let's see, great pick from John and Sibalgs. Your 4-year-old is already asleep, but the rest of your family will be following from Belgium. Awesome. Well, tell your 4-year-old hello from Tim Dodd and that I hope they're excited about space because I am. What happened to that core that didn't want to sink? Did they tow it back? That's been hard to figure out. We've been kind of asking around here to different SpaceX people. They're being pretty tight-lipped about it, which either means they were unable to, or they're going to surprise us by having a floating core pull into the port here probably like any second. But unfortunately, we really have almost no idea. So we're trying. We're trying to get the answer to that. Much love to SpaceX and Falcon 9. Absolutely, thank you. Perfect Silence 99. And Chris, are they putting air in the flight suit in the driver's seat to get some data, or is it a pure swag alone? Greetings from Ireland. I believe in the tiny rockets. Yes. Chris, that's a good question. So they previously said that they would be doing a science mission. And we think this is actually the science mission. They're probably testing out their spacesuit to make sure it works in the vacuum and radiation environments and the heat of space and the cold. There's a lot of conditions in space that can really only best be tested in space. And this is abnormal. You know, normally a company isn't required to go send their spacesuit into space. They just do it through vacuum chambers and maybe radiant chambers and things like that. But this is the ultimate test. So hopefully, I believe, I haven't heard this for sure, but it's safe to assume they've pressurized the suit as well and it's ready to go for launch as well and hopefully run some data tests on it. That would be my guess. Again, pure speculation, but we're trying. Shout out to New England College and the astronomy instructor. Elon, I'll be working for you. Yeah, that's awesome, Rodney. Good luck. Work hard and you absolutely can do that. Jan, how will the center core deal with the higher speed of reentry? Is it carrying more leftover fuel or is it reentering at a different angle? So we learned that the center core will actually be doing a boost back burn. It will not be doing what they would do on a typical, like the expendable missions where it just kind of goes and falls along its ballistic trajectory, and it won't be doing what they do for normal GTO missions or geostationary transfer orbit missions where they can't even do a boost back burn because they don't have enough margins. So there's typically 3 burns that you see a Falcon 9 do in order to land. And that's, it goes up, and then after stage separation, the stage can either do a boost back burn and try to land at land or a drone ship below it, or it skips that step and goes into and follows this ballistic trajectory and ends up very far downrange. But then no matter what, they all do what's called the re-entry burn using 3 of those 9 Merlin engines. The re-entry burn is to keep it from blowing up, as the pressure in the atmosphere would typically rip the vehicle apart as it re-enters the atmosphere. So that's why they do that re-entry burn. And then the final one is normally a single engine landing burn. And so that is a single engine, lasts about 20 seconds. And they obviously can't skip that one. That's how they land. So those are the 3. We did learn that they included a boost back burn on this mission for the center core, which means it won't be following the ballistic trajectory, which would be very far downrange, probably 1,000 kilometers or more potentially. It will be doing some kind of boost back burn, which will slow the vehicle down and probably hopefully make it more recoverable. And it has to be within that zone that the aluminum grid fins can handle, because we know those grid fins sometimes get darn close to ripping themselves off in the heat of re-entry. So yeah, and only the center core has the aluminum. The side cores have titanium for aerodynamic reasons. All right, I'm sorry guys, that was a long answer. You're welcome. Oh geez guys, hello from Japan. Thank you. It's 5 a.m. Good job waking up. Thank you so much for your support. And Arvid, thank you so much. And Ando, yeah, we already said hi to Ando. And Sorvaquin, there you go. Thank you so much. Axel, keep spreading my enthusiasm. I'm trying. I am Slask. You're welcome for the Q&A. How long will it be until a spacecraft gets into the Mars orbit? And hello from New Zealand, from Ollie. So just to clear this up, it is not going to be orbiting Mars. It will not be going into Mars's orbit per se. It'll basically be passing through Mars's orbit. It'll be going out towards Mars. It's really the easiest way to put it. So it'll be in a heliocentric orbit, which means helio is the sun and centric is centered, basically. So it's orbiting the sun. Its lowest point will be here at Earth, in Earth's orbit, and the highest point will be out to Mars. So it's kind of towards Mars, and it won't really be getting that close to Mars. So it probably will take 3 to 6 to 9 months to get out to that point of Mars's orbit. That's about all I know. So hopefully we find out more. And David, thank you, cheers, and thanks for all I do. Thank you for saying hi, David. The tag market, thank you so much. Great to have me doing this. Thanks for going to all this trouble. Thanks for appreciating all the trouble. It has been crazy, but I'm working on it, so hopefully we're getting something usable for you guys out there. And hello, Cape Town, South Africa, and London. A new sponsor, Simon, thank you very much. And Marcus, they look forward to seeing me cry in the spacesuit at launch. I don't know if I'm gonna put the spacesuit on. Should I put the spacesuit on at launch? Oh geez, we have thumbs up here with the press site. Thanks guys. Maybe I should, huh? For the boys. I already have a headache, we'll do it, why not? At this point, if I pass out, at least it'll be live. Oh, thank you, Professor Pickle. Let's see, the forest speaks in space from Matthew. Watching several feeds today. Well, thank you so much, Bowtie. From the forest freaks in space, that's awesome, Matthew. And Mode VR, great channel. Do I think there'll be cameras on the Roadster? Yes, check out Elon's Twitter account. Yesterday or 2 days ago, he posted some pictures of all the camera mounts and everything. It's really cool shots. It changed a lot since we last saw what the payload looks like, that Tesla. They're going through a lot of work to really get this baby going. So, Professor Pickle, let's see. Keep educating and exploring space. Thank you very much. Smarter and Famous, thank you so much. I guess I can't keep up with all these. Hi, do that. Hi, Rodney. What do you have to come do to see a future launch? Get a flight to Florida or Vandenberg Air Force Base or Wallops in Virginia or wherever is the closest launch site. It is actually relatively easy, relatively speaking, to get to be able to come down and witness a launch. But my best word of advice would be book it as late as possible and give yourself a week. If you can vacation for a week, especially here on the Space Coast, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff to do out here. We're an hour away from Disney World. I don't live here, by the way, so I'm not like vouching for the tourism industry or anything, but it is fun. There's Disney World and Universal Studios and Cocoa Beach and all these fun places to hang out around here. So make it a week-long vacation. Start the vacation. Try to book it about a month ahead of time at the earliest. If you can book it about a week ahead of time, you'll have a lot better chance of seeing a launch. That's my advice. So that's how you do it. Let's see. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh. I gotta stop answering questions so long. I'm sorry, guys. Rodney, Benjamin, hello. Thank you so much. Emiliano. Awesome. Thank you so much to the Yucatan Peninsula. Thank you so much, ISS Above. Hey, I know you. Everyone say hi to ISS Above. He makes these awesome ways to track the International Space Station. So, thank you. Mr. Schul, thank you. PT Lund from Sweden. Hey, this is funny for me to say, but I'm trying to keep up with all these tips. I really appreciate the tips, but I would love to answer questions because I know people are trying to tune in to get questions. So if you're going to tip, please ask a question that I can answer, and maybe hold off until things happen. If you want to tip, I would love to be able to talk and update people as much as I can about the launch and to answer questions that people may have as we get closer and closer to T-0. Again, sincerely, trust me, I love the tips are fantastic. It really helps offset all the costs of getting down here. What was that? Are we hearing anything? T-40. We're still going, guys. T-40. This is awesome. So again, thank you again, sincerely. It really, really, really means a lot, all the tips. But I would love to be able to answer questions as we load up. And I want to make sure I can say hi to you guys and show my appreciation. So
34 and counting.
34 minutes and counting. Guys, we are getting close. This is amazing. So at T-minus 5 minutes, I'm going to turn on all my cameras and probably try to throw on the spacesuit quick. So you'll have to bear with me at T-minus 5 minutes. You'll probably just get a static live view from here. And so thank you so much, ABK959. Make sure you drink water. Good call, Keith. How does the rocket know where in space it is? It has ground tracking stations, gyroscopes, GPS that can all help make sure it's going in the exact right direction. Thank you, PT Lund. Thank you so much. And Matthew Spencer from New Zealand. Spacesuit just floats around like in animation. We hope so, Pele. I think that's exactly what we're hoping to experience. And Matthew, thank you for your new sponsorship. I think, did we get caught up on everyone? Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. Again, thank you. So let's talk more about this. So we're actually in the middle of LOX loading, but we don't currently see any LOX flowing from here, but we should see that very soon. And again, LOX is liquid oxygen. It's oxygen that's cooled down to the point where, we're used to oxygen being in the air as a gas, but if you cool it down enough, it ends up becoming a liquid. It goes into a liquid state, and cool it down more, it goes into a solid. I don't know if you guys remember that from like science class or something, but that's how elements work. Oxygen is no different, and what they do, what all rocket companies do, or most rocket companies, they use liquid oxygen as their oxidizer. And that's kind of what allows the fuel and oxidizer, when you mix it with a spark, it's what allows it to ignite and go kaboomy. So they are loading it with liquid oxygen, and what happens is once it actually gets up to pressure, as it warms up in the ambient air, you start to see it venting out the side and turning, you see it interacting with the water molecules in the air. It's very cold, so it makes it condense, and you see these clouds of condensation pouring off the rocket, and that's what those big clouds. So we're looking for that telltale sign of fully loaded liquid oxygen. So hopefully that gets going really soon. So, and Preston, what makes the Merlin engine so special? I think the thing that actually makes the Merlin engine special, there's two things that come to mind for me. Number one is its very high thrust to weight ratio. So how heavy it is, the amount of thrust it outputs is actually, I think, the highest thrust to weight ratio of any RP1 fueled rocket engine. So of any kerosene powered rocket engine is the highest thrust to weight ratio. So that's pretty special. So basically that means it can carry more up into space because it doesn't have to carry its own heavy engine as much. So that's nice. The other thing that's really unique and important about the Merlin engine is that they've made hundreds of these things. It's like over 500 engines, I think, at this point. Probably close to 600 Merlin engines. And that's important for not only economically, because if you're building something over and over and over and over again, you start to offset the cost of tooling. They have a smaller engine that doesn't require as much material, and you can start to offset all those costs over and over and over and recoup on that. So the Merlin engine, by being they make so many and so uncommon, it helps bring the cost down of the entire rocket vehicle. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And it's meant to be able to last and do multiple flights. So let's see, guys, thank you. Let's see. Are you at risk if it explodes a la N1 style? No, there are exclusion zones. So people, they literally do the math in case it does blow up. I mean, that's obviously something they have to consider when you have, you know, thousands of gallons of liquid oxidizer and liquid kerosene fuel. That's a giant bomb sitting there on the pad. And as scary as that sounds, they put everyone at a safe distance in case there is a RUD, a rapid unscheduled disassembly. So we are safe. If something does happen, I think they would actually still have us probably run inside. I'm not positive about that. The Vax headroom over there, Emery Stagmer is nodding his head in approval of that statement. So I think we would be running indoors if there were to be some kind of anomaly at flight. So thank you, Dave. He clicked the link in Texas Blue Space. Thank you, Frank and PeerApp. Oh, thank you so much, Jason. You know that Tesla's Roadster got a battery that could run cameras and stuff for weeks. Any chance they're going to tap that? So Jason, I'm guessing. Again, I don't have any knowledge of this particular thing, but I don't think they're keeping the stock. I'm sure they prepared the car for the rigors of outer space, which probably means removing the terrestrial Earth batteries here, the lithium-ion batteries. So I don't think they're going to have those onboard batteries at all. Andreas, thank you for the live stream. Thank you for saying hi. Steve Smith. Oh man, where did that go? Jeez, guys. Well, thank you so much, Steve. Tom Giddon. Have there actually been any recent mishaps at Max-Q or any other mission, SpaceX or others? Everyone does seem to be worried about it. Tom, you're right. That is a scary moment. I don't know of any recent Max-Q anomalies that were caused by the aerodynamic forces of Max-Q, but I think the big thing is people were scared. It's right after Max-Q that the Challenger blew up. So they gave the go for throttle up, and it was totally unrelated to maximum aerodynamic pressure, but it's still just kind of that bad karma feeling. It's really, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, you know, superstitious almost at this point. I think it's mostly superstition at this point that has that fear of Max-Q. But you're right to ask. I don't think there's been any real anomalies at Max-Q in recent history, or that I even know of. So, but it is a point that they obviously have to engineer into place. Thank you so much, Eric. Erica K, thank you. Sorry, M40.com. You're welcome. Derek, if Falcon Heavy is lost during some stage of flight, will there be another test flight with new components or just straight to BFR? There would be another test flight. If there's a massive anomaly, they will have to qualify the vehicle for flight. They aren't going to start flying payloads anytime relatively soon until they have confidence in the vehicle. So if there's an anomaly, they would have to do some re-engineering, get it ready to go. So that's not going to, they would not be skipping on a BFR. There's still a lot of validity and a lot of reason for Falcon Heavy. So it may be a minute here. All right, so thank you, Jesse Mathieu from France. You're welcome for the live coverage. I'm doing the best I can here. Let's see. And Bjornar, thanks. You're welcome. Hello, Norway. Rob, say something about the elliptical Earth orbit plus gravity assist to Mars orbit insertion. So, Rob Mitchell, great call. Thank you for reminding. There's a lot of people just now tuning in. So, just a reminder, this is not going to Mars per se. It's easiest to describe it as going towards Mars. So, what it will be doing is, once it does its TMI, its trans-Martian injection, it'll be leaving Earth's orbit and it'll be going on and it will end up orbiting the sun. Now, its lowest point in that orbit will be around the Earth, which is closer to the sun than Mars is, and Mars is about 50% further away from the sun than the Earth is. So its orbit is a little bit bigger. So what this, the upper stage and the Tesla will be doing, the payload, its lowest orbit will be intersecting Earth's orbit. And its highest orbit actually sounds like it will be going past Mars. So it'll be on a very elliptical orbit. They're going to be basically just giving it the beans and hoping it, to really show off how much delta V this thing has, and delta V's change in velocity. So yeah, that's what they're doing. So Theo, you're welcome. Let's see here. Distance, you're welcome. Thank you so much, Joel. What happens if one engine fails and blows up and the rest of the engine still? Yes, absolutely. This has a lot of redundancy. Even the Falcon 9 can suffer a full engine failure and continue on its way towards space, and it's called engine out capability. And so the Falcon Heavy, in theory, as long as the grenading of the engine is contained, which it's designed to be contained if they lose one, the octawebs have a whole blast shield basically that prevent, the octawebs are what hold these engines together. They all kind of have their own like blast container basically. So if one of these, if they were to lose an engine, it wouldn't affect the other engines in flight. So the Falcon 9 and especially the Falcon Heavy have multi-engine out capabilities. Now it could get dicey if you were to lose, say 3 or 4 on one side, on one core. It might get too offset thrust, but who knows? But yes, absolutely they can continue even if they lose an engine. That's one of the beauties of the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy architecture. So yeah, Philip, thank you for your tip. Tim, hi from New Zealand. Do you know where they're at with fairing recovery? They are attempting to recover the fairings. Elon tweeted probably an hour or 2 hours ago showing the flight profile. So check out Elon's Twitter. Man, what was that? Did anyone hear that? So Elon did tweet speaking specifically about including the fairing recovery attempt. Stage 2 fuel load complete. We are on our way. Will you guys let me know if you see venting? Yeah. Thank you. All right, so let's see here. Hello from New Zealand. Yeah, that was the fairing recovery. And if you add fuel crossfeed to Falcon Heavy, how much can you push to low Earth orbit, assuming 63 tons without crossfeed? That's a really good question. You do gain a little bit of additional delta V if you're able to keep the center core fully topped off and discard those side core boosters a little bit earlier. But the amount, I don't know per se. It probably would be a 5, 10, 15% greater delta V capability. Actually, a good answer for that would be if we were to use Kerbal Space Program, we would probably actually be able to find a really good analog for that and probably get that number within a certain percentage. 5%, we might actually be accurate enough to see what the difference is. And maybe I'll have to do that, so stay tuned. All right, news outlets should hire you to talk. Well, thank you. I'll be my own news outlet from now on. How about that? Just everydayastronautnews.com. Josh Diner will dinner. Oh, I said, God dang it. Josh Dinner will be he'll be hiring me. I don't know for what. We'll figure it out. Yeah, there we go. Mark, seeing Elon's comment on BFR on the moon flyby, can it be that Falcon 9 Heavy is already obsolete? Mark, we already kind of spoke on this a little bit earlier, and by the way, we typically refer to it as Falcon Heavy because Falcon 9 is named Falcon 9 because it's 9 Merlin engines. If you were to go by standard, this would be the Falcon 27, but we just refer to it as Falcon Heavy. So it is sort of, it has a purpose still. There's still they're testing for the Air Force the ability to do what's called a direct to geostationary orbit insertion, which means after they do the initial transfer burn up to geostationary orbit, at that point then they will reignite the engines after a 6-stage coast and be able to put a satellite straight into geostationary orbit, which it sounds like the Air Force has hired them to do. Elon mentioned that yesterday. So they are still, that has the capability.
Mr. Lockslide throttling back, stepping into strong back dense chill.
So things are proceeding nominally. So that is fantastic. So yeah, there we go. Switzerland. Here's 21:16 in the evening. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Azing. And Chris, what if the second stage fails to fire? Will it fall back to Earth? Absolutely. The second stage has to inject almost 4 times the velocity of the first stages on this rocket and any other rocket. Actually, on this rocket, it's a little bit less because that center core, as it continues to burn, will inject a little bit extra, do a little bit extra legwork that the upper stage would normally do. Because this is the same upper stage, but it has the ability to have a heavier payload or send that payload further away. So if the upper stage fails, yeah, absolutely, it just comes right back down pretty much. It would come back down pretty much where the first stage of a normal Falcon 9, if they don't do that boost back burn, it ends up landing, 600 miles, 500 miles downrange. Sorry, 400 miles maybe in 600-ish kilometers downrange, something like that. When it does that, that's literally almost exactly where that upper stage would land, would be right around there. So we're seeing venting.
Yes, venting.
All right, that is a good sign. Yeah, it's breathing. Ugh, I love it. Have I been to a rocket launch? Yeah, this is probably my, 8th, 9th, 10th, yeah, a few. I'm from Iowa, so the drive is 21 hours. Worth it though, so yeah, thank you, Slavic. And stand for Liberty, thank you. Audio Pro, Challenger experienced high wind conditions, which played an important role in the accident. Great streaming. It wasn't necessarily the high wind conditions, it was the cold. Remember, the cold was what was the cause of the failure in the O-rings on the solid rocket boosters of Challenger. So really, otherwise weather I think was within the normal constraints, but the fact that it got below freezing the night before launch is, by what I know, what led to Challenger. So I don't think it really had anything to do, again, with max Q or other wind conditions. Is that right, Robert? Did Challenger have anything to do with wind, or was it purely the cold from the O-rings?
The root cause is purely the cold.
Root cause purely, and that's from Robert himself, who is the go-to guy for smart stuff. Ooh, we have the Spacex Livestream up in the background, so I'll be kind of listening to that. Wow, I hear a lot of people cheering. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to try to not be distracted by the live stream in the background. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. It's your best birthday. Happy 42nd birthday to Knabulo and Real Man. Richard Norman, just put on the helmet, not the whole suit. Don't want to pass out. The helmet's the hot part, actually. If anything, I'd put the suit on. Win Hoon Tell, you ask Elon to hire me for broadcasting. Nah, they got great reporters. Their presenters actually work at SpaceX as engineers and other people. So, yeah, so I'd prefer it be that way. I don't work for SpaceX. I like being able to report on everything else. Currently, I'm reporting with, mostly SpaceX because that's what I know best. But I hope to get into, the ULA. Geez, you can just hear Mission Control in Hawthorne. I hear it in the background. They are going nuts. This is awesome. I feel their energy. So hello to everyone out in Hawthorne. Best of luck today. Here's a word of advice, guys. If you want to continue watching me, please do. But make sure you have their stream open. You will get their views. If you have two devices, maybe a phone and a TV, or a tablet and a phone, or two monitors on your computer, pull them up both if you want to continue to watch me. But they will have the best views in the house. They have cameras everywhere. So make sure you're watching that. I'm going to be watching from right here. So you'll be able to get a shot for a little bit as it takes off. But make sure you have both pulled up here. How close to the rocket are people allowed to be? So people that work for SpaceX are able to get closer than around 2 miles, which is great. But they have bunkers if you're really, really close, so that they can skedaddle right away if there is some kind of failure. But that being said, the general, if you're with press and you're a normal kind of an employee, about 3 miles is the typical exclusion zone. So that's where we're at today, 3.17 miles, about 5 kilometers away. Yeah, and thank you very much. I realized my thing is like way out of order. But thank you, Bern, for the tip. They are cheering still out. I still hear it in the background. Let me know, guys. I hope I didn't miss anybody's tips. My thing is super out of order, and it's looking kind of funny. But in case I happen to miss your question or your tip, I sincerely apologize. I have terrible internet right now, and I'm trying to keep up with everything, and I may just absolutely be failing miserably. But thank you guys again. Where are we at here? We are T-minus about 20 minutes, 22 minutes, I believe. Can't wait. All right. Yep, so make sure you guys, if you want, check out SpaceX, their live stream here on YouTube. They will have the best coverage. And I know that's anti-advertising for myself, but they're the ones doing this. I'm just here to help answer questions. So I will definitely be sticking around afterwards as long as I can, but then I'm gonna head right about 200 feet away. I'll be heading over to the press site to be able to do the press conference after the flight. So from what I understand, everything is going well right now, guys. Working no problems. We are go for launch. That makes me so happy. I hope you guys are excited too. All right, so it's done. Yeah, I think, guys, our connection is going to be getting really, really, really cloggy here as everyone kind of hops online to do their live streams, to do their things. So I do apologize if we cut out here. I'm working with what I got here. But again, feel free. I do not blame you if you switch over to SpaceX. As a matter of fact, I encourage you. Hopefully afterwards, maybe some bandwidth will free up for a little bit so I can answer a few more questions. But hopefully I help provide some answers to a couple people beforehand. So all systems are go. refresh your page, people are saying I suggest trying that as well. But again, make sure you're pulling up Spacex's Livestream. That's definitely going to be the best coverage of this. I hope, for all of our sakes, that SpaceX is doing a better job of covering this exciting launch than I am. So let me go ahead. I'll do one more reiteration of what this is for those of you tuning in. This is the Falcon Heavy launch. So this is SpaceX launching the biggest, most powerful rocket they've ever launched. And I think historically, I believe it's the fourth most powerful vehicle, because we had the Saturn V, we had the Energia rocket, and we had the N1, and the fifth most powerful. The Space Shuttle actually had more thrust. So this is the fifth most powerful rocket ever made. That's saying a lot for a company as young and as a private company like SpaceX. You know, this isn't a nation's thing. This isn't the pride of Russia. You know, like all the government money going into the biggest, most powerful rocket. This is SpaceX developing this on their own dime. So that's absolutely amazing. Just Fly 720, thank you so much. That means a lot. I will do my best. Somebody asks what I think. Again, I'll talk my personal feelings. I feel like as long as it gets off the pad, guys, we're going to see a great flight. The most dangerous parts will be booster separation, which is when the two side core boosters will fall off and separate from the center core. That's something entirely unique to the Falcon Heavy. The Falcon 9 doesn't have to deal with that. So that's something new. You can hear the cheering from Hawthorne. So that's something that's entirely unique to the Falcon Heavy. So yeah, that being said, we don't exactly know what to expect. They obviously engineer for the best, and they hope they get booster separation right, but there's a chance that they don't. So that's obviously going to be probably one of the biggest concerns. And again, the other biggest concern will be at max Q, point of maximum aerodynamic pressure, which will be probably around T plus 1 minute or so. So about 1 minute into flight, you'll see max Q. That's sometimes you see shock waves. You actually see it breaking through the sound barrier. That is really cool. You just see this little. It only happens for about half a second or so. But so we'll see. I'm feeling pretty good about it though, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's going to be very exciting nonetheless. Can you guys let me know when we're at like T-minus 6? We're 14 out?
4:30 right now.
Alrighty. Wait, 4:30, what time is it? At 4:45? Is that T-minus 0? Alright, well, yeah. Learning things on the spot here, guys. Alright, so when is it exactly launched? So it'll be launching again in about 15 minutes, 13 minutes from right now. 14, so very, very, very soon. Whoo, I can't wait. And again, if you're tuned to me and you're not tuned into SpaceX, I'm gonna go ahead and consider that a sin at this point, because SpaceX has the best coverage of this. So make sure you're tuning into them. If you have both, that's very flattering that you want to tune into me, but again, SpaceX has the best coverage of this. They are the ones doing this. They have cameras at the launch pad. They also have their people in mission control telling you all the details that are currently unavailable to me, really. So yeah, they're talking about their cost of access to space. Yes, sir. All right, so we're still good. Everything's looking great, guys. 13.5 minutes, so 13 minutes. I'm very excited. And again, around T-minus 5 or 6 minutes, you'll see me step away for a second, and I'm going to get some cameras going. I have a lot of cameras set up here. Actually, I might have to do some of this on screen here. I'm just going to see if my microphone can reach this far. I'm going to program. I've got a slider here, so we're going to be doing some 4K sliding action video that you physically cannot see at all right now. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a 4K run here with this. I've got 60 frames per second 4K about 100 feet away that I have to go grab and turn on before the launch. We're recording here. We're recording 8K 360 over here. Hopefully we have some really good coverage of this thing, guys. I don't know how this will work here for me today, but we're going to give it a try. Again, I apologize. You're going to be seeing some cool butt shots. This is the Tim Dodd exclusive butt shot, but we're going to do this, setting the start there. Ta-da. Set end. Over this way. This is awesome. I can't wait. Again, I apologize. You're going to be watching me set up some stuff. But I hope it's worth it, because I hope we end up with some really cool footage here in a minute. So, guys, the excitement over at Hawthorne, I can't get over that. Everyone is so stoked. Fuel is loaded on the second stage. Okay, I'm gonna start looping this thing here. All right, I got that camera ready to go. I'll be turning on the 8K camera here soon. Thank you, JJ Abrams, Spacex Stream. At over 1 million, oh my gosh, 1 million people are watching the Spacex stream. Holy cow, that's amazing. All right, we got about 11 minutes left, guys, 12 minutes, so, oh my gosh. It's happening, it's actually happening. This is amazing. Hello from France. Get my spacesuit on. I'm gonna put the spacesuit on about T-minus 5 minutes. I might do some preparation here for that. Spacesuit, spacesuit, spacesuit. That is amazing, 1 million people. All right, that is great. Oopsies. Apparently I messed this up, huh? I am not good at this, huh?
Very excited to be here.
It's jittering and pure excitement. Again, guys, I apologize. I'm going to be trying to make sure I've got this stuff kind of going. There we go. There we go. And setting end point of the slider here.
So execution is going to be at T-minus 5 seconds, the 2 side boosters ignite, and then at T-minus 3, the
Center core. Okay, so we just heard that at T-minus 5 seconds, they will be doing the 2 side core boosters, igniting those, and then at T-minus 3 seconds, they'll be igniting the center core. And then if all goes well, at T-minus 0, they will release the launch clamps, and it will hopefully be heading up towards space. So stay tuned in for that, guys. We're getting close. One second here. Starman is the passenger of their of the Tesla. That is hilarious. All right, I got that reset, guys. Sorry, I apologize. What is my plan if things go south? I will be running. We will be running indoors. So, hopefully we won't have to do that. We are about T-minus 10 minutes, guys. It's true, man. Starman, the spacesuit, has the best seat in the house right now. Hopefully. I mean, oh, guys, this is so cool. They have helicopters for the range. They're flying around, making sure that there's no threats, there's no vehicles around. The Air Force Base, they cover these launches, make sure everything's good to go. Range safety, so we see these big helicopters flying around. It's so cool. You just really get this sense of excitement, and you just feel this excitement in the air. There's, again, around 100,000 people out here on the Space Coast witnessing this live in person. That just almost brings tears to my eyes. That is so exciting. This is so different than my first launch 4 years ago. There was about 15 people out here at the press site, and now I'm looking out seeing hundreds of people out here. And no one back then 4 years ago. My first launch I ever saw was CRS-3, which was April 2014, and there was no one here. It was, people were like, what's SpaceX? Who cares? This is not the space shuttle. This is not exciting. These are little tiny rockets. And boy, were they wrong. So now this is the most exciting thing clearly to happen since the space shuttle. And we're probably going to get a lot more exciting as soon as SpaceX actually starts putting people up on their Falcon 9 rocket for commercial crew program, which will be happening hopefully really soon to the end of this year, if not for sure next year. They have contracted missions with NASA to take crew up to the International Space Station, as well as Boeing with their CST-100 Starliner vehicle, and that'll be riding on top of an Atlas V. So, yeah, man. 1.2 million viewers on the SpaceX Livestream. That is so cool. Oh, that is awesome. Is he going to Joule, says AbuD3. That is hilarious. I think Elon could even make it beyond Joule, and Starman, they could go pretty darn far. If you don't know what Joule is, Kerbal Space Program. I play it a lot. I love it. I may be a bit obsessed with it. Oh, guys, this is so exciting. Again, you're going to have to bear with me for just a second while I get some camera set up here. I may even de-mic, or I'll just set the mic down so you at least can hear some audio. But I will be bearing, you guys will have to bear with me here in about 1 minute. So, this is so awesome. 7 minutes. All right, we're at T-minus 7 minutes. Again, I'm gonna be stepping away just for a second. Oh. And Men in Black episode 3 down there. What? Elon just posted pictures from inside the fairing, as in like recently, or the ones from yesterday? If they have the feed already going from inside the fairing, that would be incredible. 1.4 million people. That is amazing. All right, guys, we're getting so close. The shivers are already beginning, guys. This is very, very, very exciting. I'm probably gonna be getting some of my cameras going here in just a second, and I'll hop in the spacesuit just for you guys. And yeah, we're getting close. The excitement in the air. 6 minutes. All right, I'm gonna set the mic down for a real quick second here. I'm gonna go run and set up a few of my cameras, or turn them on and get them going. So I'll be right back. Bye, Mike.
Where does Mike go? Here we are. Taking over Tim Dodd's feed. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm standing in for him so he can focus the camera on me. So when he comes back here, the camera's focused on him. I'm Emery Stagmer. I'm Vax Headroom. You guys follow me on Twitter if you can, and that'd be great. I'm a real rocket geek. I actually build satellites for a living, and have been on Tomorrow.tv a bunch of times. This is the first time Tim Dodd and I've actually gotten to meet, which was really, really fun. So yeah, we're coming down. Live stream offline. Are we back up? Yeah, bouncing around a bit. All right. Yeah. So Tim's getting the pumpkin suit on, and it's the first time I've seen the suit too, which is pretty cool. Hey Brad, thanks. He's getting there. We're down to what, 2 minutes and 30? Cool. I'm shooting video, and I've got a big audio set up. Hopefully they move that helicopter before launch. No, they aren't. Well, aliens. What's interfering with the stream is really just the press corps. There's just people here every.
Guys, we are closer than ever. I'm here, guys. I'm here. This is getting really close. We had a minute left, guys. made it. I got all my cameras rolling too. That's surprising. Okay, if you guys don't mind, I'm pretty much just gonna be tuning in and watching this thing live. I gotta kind of be able to experience this a little bit. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I had to kind of move this. What, 30? Oh my gosh, this is happening, isn't it? They are going for it, guys. They are going for it. This is awesome. Oh my gosh, I have goosebumps going right now, guys. This is so awesome. I'm so glad you guys are here to witness this with me. We have a helicopter just hovering over my shoulder right now. Oh my gosh. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh. Yes, it's so bright. I can't even look at it, guys. It looks like the sun. Oh my gosh, it cleared the pad by a lot. It is going. Oh my gosh, yes! Yes! Oh my gosh! Oh, you can feel it like crazy! Oh my gosh! Yes! Yes! Woo! Yes! Go baby go! It's rumbling everything! Oh my god, this is so amazing! It looks like it's directly overhead right now. Oh my god. Oh, this is incredible. That was loud. It is making it, guys. It got off the pad. It got off the pad. Fingers still crossed. We got a ways to go here. We got a little ways to go here. Go Falcon. You can start to see it interacting with the atmosphere now. It's going to leave a little bit of a trail here. That just at certain points the atmosphere interacts with it. It looks like it's doing great. We're looking right down the engines right now. I can see all three of them lined up just perfectly. It's a little bit obscured by a cloud. You can still see it shining through the clouds as if we're the sun. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Oh, it is going. It's going. I can't believe it did it on its first attempt. Oh my gosh. It is going, guys. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, go Falcon Heavy. Oh. Sorry, I'm at a complete loss for words. I'm shaking right now. That was incredible. Yes. Oh my gosh. The side boosters have throttled down, they're announcing. Oh my gosh. So here's the big part, guys. This is the big thing. If they can get these boosters off, I mean, I have so much confidence if they can get these boosters separated. Oh my gosh. And then we're going to try to see those two boosters are going to be landing back here at land. Here we go. Did they do it? Everyone's cheering at Hawthorne. I'm still shaking, guys. Everyone is cheering at Hawthorne. They must have had a clean booster set. Oh my gosh. They officially had successful separation. That's huge, guys, because it did that. That's huge. That is huge, guys. Everything leading up to that was a scary point. Now it's basically just a standard Falcon 9. Oh my gosh. So now I'm literally looking, we lost track. We have a little bit of a cloud directly between us right now. Coming up in fairing step already. Oh my gosh. I can still hear it, guys. We're minutes away and I can still hear it. Oh my god, you can hear the song. Oh my god. I can't talk right now, I'm sorry. I can't believe this. This is absolutely insane. So we're looking now, all eyes are tuned in very high up because it's really hard to judge where these things come in. But we're all kind of eyes peeled right now to hopefully get a glimpse of the re-entry burn of the two side boosters. I can't believe this is working. I can't believe this is working. Oh my God. So again, eyes trained up right now, looking, hoping we can get a glimpse of it here soon. Sounds like they're at a loss for words at Hawthorne too. Oh my gosh. Successful liftoff, successful staging, separation, booster separation, all successful. Oh my gosh. So you guys can see Starman just hanging out in the Roadster. I can't wait to see that. Oh my God. All right, so again, keeping those eyes peeled, hoping to see the re-entry burn soon here. Should be any second here. I hope. This is the wait where you're just like, I really hope it's working. Oh my gosh. Okay, hopefully we hear word on re-entry burn soon. You guys see it? I do not see it yet myself. Maybe I'm blind as a bat right now, blinded by magnificence. But hopefully my eyes start working and then I see it, but I see nothing right now. Where? What? Everyone's looking up and I'm just looking like a fool. This is so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. Oh my gosh, come on. There is going to be a party out here tonight, I will tell you that. Oh my God. They had re-entry burns shut down. So we've already gone through re-entry burn, but we're waiting to see landing burn. Where Hawthorne's going nuts. Oh, there it is! Oh my God! Yes! Oh my God! Get ready for some sonic booms here. There's gonna be about 6. They were staggered. Get ready, get ready. We will hear this. We will hear this. We don't see any booms. They both landed? They both landed. Where's the sonic booms? Oh yeah. Yes. 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 They what? They lost the center core? They may have lost the center core, but hey, I mean, 2 out of 3.
Nominal parking orbit.
Nominal parking orbit.
That's what they just said.
So they may have lost the center stage. We can deal with that, folks. The important thing is that the payload's capable of it sounds like it's in its parking orbit, and so soon it will be doing its GTO, its transfer orbit up to geostationary transfer orbit, and then it will do a 6-hour coast. I'm probably going to tune out here, guys, soon. We have to run up to the press site. There is a lot of stuff going on over here, so the excitement is still going crazy. I will be posting a real version of this here using both the 8K 360 camera, which I hope, yes, is recording. And then I also have the footage here from this camera, so you won't be seeing the cutouts, and I will be uploading that so you guys actually have a good working feed of that. So I'll be putting something together with all the cameras that we have on site. I ended up with a lot of cameras. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I really, again, sincerely apologize for the connection issues. It was quite dicey here for a bit, but now we're working on, people are going to be running into the press site to hear from Elon Musk, see what he has to say about this exciting event. Everyone's just absolutely thrilled right now, as they should be. Congratulations, SpaceX, so far. Everything's looking fantastic. Oh, yes. Everyone around here is so excited. Yes. Everyone, let's get some cheers going. Yes. Woo. All right. I think we should tune out. What do you think? Get up there in the press site?
Crazy awesome.
Crazy awesome.
Can't wait to see
this is amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the streamed video.
Yeah, I know. Now we're on the back side of the clock. The countdown clock is literally 20 feet from me right now, and that has the stream going on it. So I kind of took one for the team here, but it'll be worth it, I think, right? I think so.
Yeah.
We can always watch that later. They do a good job of that. So 3 out of 3 landed. Wait, what? Did really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did it land? Yes? Done. Okay.
Yeah, yep. So maybe we had someone say 3 out of 3, but question mark. We don't know yet. Hopefully we find out here soon. Oh man, no news from drone ship.
As long as the payload's separated.
Yep.
You know, if they lost the third core, okay, they've only landed 20 out of the last 21.
Yeah.
Stupid. Yeah. Crazy.
All right. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tune out. Thank you for tuning in. I will be posting a lot of this stuff later.
Follow this guy.
Thank you guys for your support too. It really means a lot. I'm gonna head out here, guys. Again, I'm Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. We will see you guys